Good day everyone. For today's video we're going to talk about topic 8. I am presenter of group 3 and we're now discussing chapter or topic 8, in which is the surface and subsurface runoff phenomenon. So without waste of time, let's start learning. Let's define runoff. What do we mean of runoff? Runoff is a portion of bodies of water that runs the soil surface or subsurface towards the stream or the base flow. To understand it more further or more clearly, consider the picture presented. Water flows at the top downhill, which some of the water infiltrates the soil down to the base flow underground. Thus, some water flows on the surface to the bottom of the hill, and water that flows comes from different sources, either from rainwater, ice melt, irrigation water, and other sources of waters that resembles runoff. Runoff was also part of a water cycle, as according to the U.S. Geotechnical Survey, it is part of precipitation that appears in uncontrolled surface like streams, rivers, drains, or sewers, as clearly presented in this water cycle illustration. Surface and subsurface. What is the difference? It's quite obvious. Surface flow and the other one is subsurface flow. Surface runoff, also known as overland flow, is a flow of water occurring on the ground surface when excess rainwater, stormwater, meltwater, or other sources can no longer sufficiently rapidly infiltrate in the soil. This can occur when the soil is saturated by water to its full capacity, and the rain arrives more quickly than the soil can absorb. In a simpler understanding, consider a bottle of water poured in a dry sand. Because the sand is not saturated and totally dry, therefore the water poured quickly infiltrates underneath. Now consider a bottle of water poured on a saturated or wet sand surface, as shown in the figure to the right. Water flows instantly at the surface. For more technically speaking, the more saturated the soil is, the more surface runoff there is. Now let's talk about subsurface runoff. Subsurface runoff is the water that infiltrates in the unsaturated zone from rain, snowmelt, or other sources and moves laterally towards the streams. Body zone or the unsaturated zones extends from the top of the ground surface to the water. The water that flows or infiltrates and flows below soil surface is considered as the subsurface runoff. The way that influences runoff majorly is what we know as permeability. Permeability is a soil describes how water or any liquid and air are able to move through the soil. In the case of rainfall irrigations, water moves very easily through highly permeable soil and very slowly through soils with low permeability. Therefore, for the urbanized areas where pavement covers the soil has the least permeability, resulting for higher surface runoff or some point resulting in flooding. General soil water process. As we can see in these illustrations, the more permeable the soil is, the less surface runoff there is. Unlike to the urbanized illustration in which we can see in the right, we can see less transmission of water from surface to the base flow, resulting for higher surface runoff, or in other words, resulting for higher chances of flooding. Why understand runoff? There's two main things on why we need to understand runoff. Runoff is a source of pollution. As surface flow water can carry man-made contaminants like petroleum, pesticide, fertilizer, and other that can be harmful to humans. Another one is to know the effects of runoff to urbanization, as the main effect of it is erosion and disposition. As what we can see here, disposition of soil and erosions may cause for higher risk in human health, especially in forms of flooding.